Hey! What are you making, rice? Wrong answer. Are you tired of living your sad, pathetic, worthless life? Do you want to be the man like me? Buff, in charge, everybody loves me, and all of my dreams become reality? And you need to eat more protein.
Whenever I discuss the benefits of eating more protein with other people, this is what I feel like I sound like. Any problem you have can be solved by eating more protein. Now, of course, there's more nuance and very rare scenarios where people can eat too much protein, but the vast majority of people should be eating more protein for one reason or another. Before we get into the video, guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. What if I want to lose fat? Dr. Stuart Phillips, a leading expert in dietary protein research, breaks down the benefits of protein in fat loss into 5 different categories. These are satiety, thermic effect, substrate utilization, muscle mass preservation, and nutrient density. Satiety is going to be key if you want to lose weight. Sure, you can lose weight eating 1,000 calories of Twinkies a day, but you know damn well you're going to be craving food at every hour.
So, Grandma, I'm full.
More cookies.
How do you become satiated? Eat more protein. There has been a considerable amount of research into the protein leverage hypothesis, which essentially means that any animal will eat however much food it needs until it gets enough protein. If an animal eats a low protein diet, they will likely compensate by eating more food in total so that they can get enough protein. This is true in humans as well.
They looked at over 100 studies where humans ate as much as they wanted, and someone tracked their macronutrients. And what you see is this incredibly narrow line of protein prioritization. Basically, humans eat until they get enough protein, and only then do they stop eating.
Eat higher protein, then less total food is required to hit a point where you don't feel like eating anymore. This could be due in part to the protein itself, but also due to the vitamins and minerals that the high protein foods often contain. After all, the reason we eat is for energy and nutrients. When obese women on a low-calorie diet are given micronutrient supplements, they see dramatic improvements in appetite regulation. What's an easier way to get all of your vitamins and minerals? Eat more protein. The fact of the matter is that every single mineral, from zinc to iodine, copper to iron, calcium to magnesium, are all water-soluble, meaning they will not be found in fat. They could be found in carbohydrates from plants, but the nutrients are locked up in a matrix of fiber and anti-nutrients that make them harder to digest and absorb. The more nutrient available your diet is, the less hungry you will be and the easier it will be to lose the fat. The body will always slow down energy expenditure in response to weight loss. How do you burn more energy despite being in a body that wants to do the opposite? Eat more protein. Okay, look at the 3 macronutrients. Protein is by far the largest and most complex, meaning in order to fully break it down, it requires significantly more energy. This is known as the thermic effect of protein and is a benefit to you because anything you can do to make the body burn more energy is helping you lose fat and keep it off. What about the opposite? Is it possible to eat in a caloric surplus and still not gain fat? It is, if you eat more protein. In this study, high protein consuming subjects who ate more than 800 calories more than their moderate protein eating counterparts still experienced no significant change in fat mass. This is because protein is very hard to store in tissues. Whereas we have glycogen as stores for carbohydrate and fat cells as stores for dietary fat, there is really no storage place for dietary protein besides the amount that is in the blood. When there's more protein than the body knows what to do with it, it just burns it all up and releases it as waste heat. You might have heard of the meat sweats, which really should be called the protein sweats. For this reason, if you want to build muscle and not gain too much fat in the process, eat more protein. You'll need extra energy, but if that energy is almost impossible to store as fat, you're at an advantage. Muscle mass is an important factor in losing fat and having a high metabolic rate, since muscle mass is the most important contributor to resting energy expenditure. How do you gain muscle and keep it? Eat more protein.
Oh, me?
To maximally signal muscle protein synthesis, you need to ingest around 3 grams of the amino acid leucine at a meal. However, this is just a signal. The process of building muscle is limited by the amino acid availability. This means that taking leucine as a supplement by itself is pointless. You need leucine to tell your muscles to grow, but you also need enough of the other amino acids as building blocks. Solution: eat more protein. But doesn't insulin coming from carbs help you build more muscle? Yes and no. Insulin is necessary for muscle protein synthesis, but the amount needed is much smaller than most people think. This study infused insulin at different concentrations to subjects and kept protein equal. The fasting level of insulin was just as anabolic as insulin, more than 30 times that amount. You don't need the insulin from carbohydrates to build muscle. You need to eat more protein. Okay, so maybe there is a benefit of carbohydrate when it comes to building muscle because it replenishes glycogen, which is important for high-intensity exercise. Want to replenish as much muscular glycogen as possible? Eat more protein. When you eat carbs alone, you will restore muscle glycogen, but not as much as if you combine those carbs with protein. This could be why your performance is not as good as you think it should be. Or maybe you're sore and can't exercise to your best ability.
I'm not really feeling it. Feel kind of weak today.
The cause of muscle soreness is not entirely known, but is likely a combination of the physical damage done to the muscle as well as the inflammation that ensues after. Others have speculated that lactic acid buildup is the cause of soreness. In any case, the best way to reduce soreness is to, you guessed it, eat more protein. The physical damage done to the muscle can only be repaired with protein. If there is a buildup of lactic acid, more protein in the diet will also help. We know that higher protein diets make the body more efficient at gluconeogenesis, which just so happens to consume lactic acid. The inflammation that follows is acute and needs to take place for recovery, so supporting the immune system is vital. How can we support our immune system? Eat more protein. Protein is needed for so many different functions in the immune system. Besides the fact that key components of the immune system are literally proteins like cytokines and antibodies, amino acids are crucial for a slew of different immune functions. I mean, take a look at this table. To say protein is necessary for a healthy immune system is a massive understatement, and to say the immune system is very important for your overall health is an even bigger understatement. The most basic function of the immune system is to repair injury, but a better strategy is to avoid injury. How can you do this? Eat more protein. We've all been told that drinking milk is good for our bones because of calcium. But did you know that more than half of bone tissue is actually protein? The calcium and the protein together are what lead to strong bones. What is the best way to get more calcium? Eat more protein. The best sources of calcium are also some of the best protein sources, like dairy and fish with bones. After all, staying injury-free is important if you want to live a long and healthy life. Avoiding insulin resistance is also incredibly important for health and longevity, especially in today's coronavirus world. But I digress. If you've seen our video on how insulin resistance happens, you know that excessive energy is the problem, which eventually leads to worse glucose metabolism. You know what helps with both of those things? Eating more protein. Protein will allow you to maintain and build muscle, which, as we discussed, is vital in maintaining a healthy metabolic rate. Muscle is also the best reserve to dump glucose into, which dramatically improves the hyperglycemia and insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is really at the root of most of the disease in the world today, as we discussed in this video. Avoiding it is vital for longevity, as most of the so-called age-related diseases are really insulin resistance-related diseases. There's been a lot of talk about longevity in the health space for quite a while. However, there's a group of people who believe that restricting protein will lead to longevity. This is due to many studies showing that restriction of the amino acid methionine makes mice live longer. However, when you give mice normal amounts of methionine and also make sure they get enough glycine, the mice live just as long. This is because methionine and glycine counteract each other in the system of methylation. Methionine provides methyl groups, while glycine will buffer excess methyl groups. How do you get glycine? Eat more protein. More specifically, eating the protein-rich collagenous tissues of animals like the skin, bones, and tendons are great sources of glycine. Methionine is not the bad guy it's made out to be either. In fact, if we want to talk about longevity, we know that as an essential amino acid, we need to consume methionine for muscle protein synthesis. As we've discussed, muscle is important for metabolic health, which in itself will protect you from a majority of the leading causes of death. Did you also know that some of the best predictors of longevity in humans are insulin sensitivity and muscle mass? Did you also know that as we age, we become less efficient at stimulating muscle protein synthesis? Sarcopenia, or muscle loss, as aging progresses is one of the biggest risk factors for all-cause mortality. We also know that a common feature in aging is inflammation, or as the literature likes to call it, inflammaging.
It's not funny!
This is chronic, low-grade inflammation often found in the elderly and is known to contribute to age-related morbidity. When sarcopenic elderly patients are put on exercise and nutritional interventions, they have decreases in whole-body inflammation. Can you guess what the dietary change was? They ate more protein. Speaking of aging, it seems like everyone nowadays is trying to market their antioxidant products that will make you live longer. It is true that excessive oxidative stress is common to essentially every quote-unquote age-related disease. What is one of the best ways to boost your antioxidant system? Eat more protein. The master antioxidant glutathione requires the amino acids glycine, glutamate, and cysteine from dietary protein in order to be synthesized. The recycling of glutathione uses molecules dependent on the B vitamins riboflavin and niacin. How can you get more of these vitamins in your diet to help out your antioxidant system? Eat more protein. No matter how you look at it, if you want to live longer, eat more protein. In addition to their often protein-heavy diets, these supercentenarians also claim that a positive outlook on life and good sleep are keys to their longevity. Serotonin is well known as a neurotransmitter that contributes to feeling good in general. The sole precursor for serotonin is the amino acid tryptophan. In fact, we have studies that feed people diets devoid of tryptophan, and these people develop abnormalities in emotional processing. Other studies of tryptophan depletion show alterations in sleep quality, characterized by sleep fragmentation and REM sleep latency. This is likely due to the fact that serotonin is the precursor to the sleep hormone melatonin. How can you make sure you're getting plenty of tryptophan to support healthy mood and sleep? I think you know the answer. I could go on, but the bottom line is that eating more protein is damn near always better for your health. From gaining muscle to losing fat, preventing disease, aging gracefully, getting better sleep, and having a better mood, protein should always be the #1 focus of your diet. If you liked this video, leave a comment and let us know, and make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and check out these videos.